All righty, let's start rocking and rolling. Welcome to another amazing Wednesday. How's everybody doing? All right, Greg, I'm gonna do. Is that better, Greg?
Yes,
He totally missed it. You totally missed it. You heard it in the subconsciously.
Yeah.
All right, who's got something good? Oh, who's got something good today? All right, hang on. All right, hang on. All right, there we go. Right here, Norman, right here. 2.
Oh, we got 2?
Yes, 2. Come on.
I closed yesterday, my second closing.
Second closing. All right. Closing deals. Good job. Congrats. What's up?
I also closed yours today, first closing, and today under contract.
All right. 1 out of the way. 1 in the books and 1 on the way. Look at that. Oh, really? Anybody else coming in? Hey, yeah. All right. Somebody else online? Anybody got something good? We got a couple of congratulations for you guys online. Come on. Anybody got anything personal going great? Guys. Come on. There we go.
My oldest son got a full ride scholarship to grad school.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes. How are you holding that back, Tamika? I know. Why you should have been like first person hands up. So proud. All right. Let's go. Melanie Horn, what you got going good? She going to Vegas, baby. We knew that.
Made it already.
Yes, she is all in. Anybody else? Who's got something good? All right. Let's rock and roll. Good deal. Tons and tons of events and high value opportunities coming for you guys. So let's rock and roll through these. First and foremost, Norman's got a beginner's guide to command workshop today at 1 o'clock after team meeting, August 31st. Tomorrow is Chad's leading the lead generation 3612-3. I hope you guys have registered for that. September 9th, I believe it's a Saturday, right, Norman? We got command boot camp.
Yep.
September 14th, we got get your funding up to par, which is our lending symposium. September 30th, every hound needs a home. And October 9th, we have Bold coming. October 14th, Shredding Hunger event. And of course, October 28th, our one and only Trunk or Treat. So let's get into this. Norman, quick thing on Beginner's Guide to Workshop, your command workshop today.
Yeah, it's at 1 o'clock. So if you want to learn DocuSign, commands DocuSign, come on in. It's a real short 1-hour class. I'm shortening it down, making it really simple. And let's just get in there and use it.
Cool. Thank you. See you guys at 1 for that. And tomorrow is the big day for Lead Generation 3612-3 workshop that Chad's going to be leading. He's going to have some guests joining him on that as well. It's 9 to 3. Lunch is going to be provided. There's going to be a lot of tactics that you're going to utilize to hit that lead generation. If you have not registered yet, you have a little bit of time. There's a very margin, a little amount of space left on there. We're pushing 60 on the registration. So there might be a couple of seats left. If any of you haven't registered and you can make it, I highly, highly recommend it if you have not registered yet. We do need a registration on this, please, because we do have lunch provided. Okay? There is no Zoom on this. It's a hands-on workshop. There's going to be a handout. Okay, so in person only on this one. All right. Again, Norman, this is your Saturday command boot camp, which is going to be again all day from 9 to 3:30. It's a boot camp workshop, so lunch again will be provided. So there is a registration required, please. That way your lunch can be accounted for. Highly, highly encourage you to take this. It's going to be a overview over and dive deep into every applet of command. Anything you want to add to that, Norman?
No, basically that's what it is. So you got lunch coming. I need a head count because if you don't register, I don't have your head count. I can't give you a lunch. Okay.
All right. Saturday, September 9th, 9 to 3:30, right here in the training room. All right. Your funding up, get your funding up to par. You got your, this is an amazing event that Verna partnering with AMCAP and some others, Dale, have put together. Hey, it's about strategizing on different lending opportunities, Verna.
Absolutely. So as you know, the market is getting tougher. It's a bit psychotic, right? It's functioning as a seller's market on paper, but it's acting like a buyer's market in behavior. So how do you get people off the fence so you can move people forward and close those transactions? When you're getting your funding up to par, we're exploring different creative financing options for buyers as well as sellers. So you want to get as many golf clubs inside of your bag so you can take the right swing and get a hole in one.
Look at that. How long did you rehearse?
Yeah,
That was pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I know, right? All right. Well, Bold is back with an amazing Bold coach. And her name is Amber Rutherford. She's absolutely one of, in fact, Chad's probably gonna come up here and say she is the best. Okay. So high accountability. The great part about the way Bold is structured today is they match it to the market. So even if you took it last year or even last season, this was going to be different because it's going to match the market of the moment. And there are some strategizing in tough times that are going on right now. So I highly recommend you get into this. And to incentivize it, we have a couple of opportunities for you guys. But first and foremost, there is a sign-in sheet that everybody's gotten. Chad, you want to come talk about this one? There is a sign-in sheet. So if you're ready to commit, let's get your information on that sheet and hand it over to one of us. Chad's going to come up to talk about a couple of opportunities that you guys have to take advantage. Bold.
All right. So when sales are down in our market, right? It just is. The number of sales that we've seen over the last few years is down. That means available income is down. And yet, here's an opportunity to not just survive this market, to thrive. I don't care where you are. And if this is your first day in the market, right? Or first day in this industry, or your, what, Pam? Your 30th? Okay. Or if it's whatever. Okay, great. And we're going to meet you a little bit, and I'm going to take a major risk on this, meaning I'm putting my money where my mouth is, because if you take Bold, not I'm going to sit there and be just a participant and I'm going to watch. No, if you jump in, you do the activities and you go all in, you will have success in this, measured it. I have taken Bold, meaning being all in and did what it wants. So we're going to have our normal reimbursement. Our normal reimbursement program is that it's $800 to take Bold. It's actually $799 for every deal that you put under contract or listing that you take it when it closes during the time Bold start. Hold on. During the moment you sign up for Bold to the very last day of Bold, which is December 4th, if you put a buyer under contract or you put a listing on the market when it closes, we'll reimburse $200 back to you up to $400. So you can get your money back. That's one incentive, and this is an option. The next incentive is I'll go ahead and pay for half of it. There's some criteria right now as we move forward.
That was it.
That
was it.
Oh, it is on here.
Yeah, that's
okay. So here's the incentive. If you've closed, I do have favorites in this, meaning you've had to close a deal, right? If you've closed a deal since June 1st, or you have a pending contract that's $250,000 or more, I'm going to go ahead and pay for half of your Bold right now. So it'll only cost you $399. If you're going, well, that's not fair, I just started, I don't have one, then hurry up and get something under contract and I'll meet you where you are. So this is equal opportunity, right? It is fair to get there. Now, this will not qualify for the reimbursement program. You're just meaning I'm in this, I'd rather take the discount right now and then I'm all in at $399. We'll register you through the MCA department, right? I'm gonna give you a little hook commitment. It is, I don't need somebody to do this and then leave me at the end of the year. So there's a commitment that says I'm gonna be all in. I'm covering half of your cost. This means I'm taking owners, the investors of this, and putting half into you up front, meaning I know you would have went ahead and reimbursed it, but just kind of meet you where you are. The most aggressive I coach leaders all across the country. I know OPs across the country. I promise you, nobody else is gonna meet you where we are in this. And yet, for us to get a top bold coach to come here, they expect people to come and they want them to play. And we have created a reputation in this market center, as this is the bold where top people want to go. I'm willing to invest into you, and I want you to show up and play it the whole time. Pretty good deal, in my opinion. Questions on that? You're going to hear more about it. We're going to call you. We're going to ask. I believe in the product because there's an accountability. There is mindset. There's skill set. And you're hearing from somebody who plays at a high level. You go, well, you just don't understand. I have a lot going on. That's why you have a bold coach that runs her and her husband run a very big business. She is an OP. She coaches, and she's a mother of 4. And they're all still at the house, by the way. Yes. So her world is crazy, and she gets after it. That's why I really like her and respect her a lot. And she'll just say it is. Okay. Any questions? We have on your thing right there. Go ahead and sign up today. If you need to question, we're going to verify that you do it. You can lock in if you got it. We're going to ask for your credit card because the office is going to be the one who pays for it. Anybody going to fill this out right now? Okay, great. We already knew the one. And if you have any questions about the criteria and how it is, basically, if you want I'll just do it right now. If you say, no, I want to be fully reimbursed, I trust myself that I'll get my money back, right? And get the reimbursement, then you can do it that way as well. You just have to put more up front. Okay, great. Sign up. You're going to hear a lot more about it.
Yep, absolutely. Hey, a couple of things just to be clear on what Chad said. KW Maps is charging us the full amount. We are covering half for you. Okay, so just to be absolutely clear on that, that's, you know, we're in this with you. Second, just an example of what Chad talked about, how, you know, we've built a reputation in this training room here about the way we conduct bold and the level in which we conduct it. I actually had a leader from another market center reach out to me yesterday asking if one of their top agents could actually do bold with us in here rather than the environment that they're in their own market center. So just make sure you understand that. Okay. So let's be all in on it. Great deal. All right, let's go. ALC minute. All right, Pam. Oh, what happened to all our stuff? Yeah. Oh no, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. ALC minute first. Oh, you were gonna bring it?
I was gonna bring a puppy. Hi, I'm Pam Shockey. I'm on the ALC. I'm also heading up the pet adoption event, Every Hound Needs a Home. So on your list here, you've got 3 events coming up. The first one's Every Hound Needs a Home, then Shredding Hunger, then Trunk or Treat. If you don't have a listing or a buyer that you're working with, these are opportunities for you to reach out to your sphere of influence, your neighborhood, social media, church, you name it. There's an opportunity for you to present a major event that Keller Williams is basically taking care of for you. If you don't have a personal flyer for Every Hound Needs a Home, which is 1 month away, please ask Greg for one. There's no point in having marketing made available to you for free or for your marketing dollars that you pay every month and not utilizing it. You can get door hangers. You can just print the flyer out and put it on a door. You can go to neighborhood stores and ask them if you could put the flyer up. There's many opportunities coming up that if you don't have a listing, there's no reason you shouldn't be doing this. It also gives you the opportunity to follow up, whether it's Every Hound Needs a Home, Shredding Hunger, or Trunk or Treat. Did you get my flyer? I hope I see you there. So you've got basically 12 weeks of opportunities to reach out to somebody, and it's being handed to you. Your ALC minute from Pam Shockey.
Thanks, Pam.
Yes.
Who do we ask for
Man. Oh, it's first piece. Dang, I thought you might have been next. Okay. Greg St. Ford right there. He's gonna be coming up here in just a minute. All right.
Agent marketing desk.
God, you messed it up, dude. That would have been.
Oh man, I'm
perfect if it was
sorry.
Greg.
What did I do?
know.
I don't even know what I
You
did.
went first. All right, Israel, what's up?
Really quickly, guys. Thank you. A lot of y'all came to the workshop on Saturday. So who came? That was in here. A couple of y'all. So we had about 27 people. It was awesome. all buyer consultations, practice, seller consultations. Look for more of those workshops coming up, open house workshop, events workshop, farming workshop, and get you guys into activity. We want to have a big push for the last quarter. Also, in regards to Bold, look for a PC contest coming up, and the prize will be half of the Bold scholarship. So you may be able to take Bold for free. So look for that coming up, guys. And then don't forget PC group coaching in the Legion room. Grab a lunch, join me in the Legion room, and we'll do a PC group coaching at 12 o'clock. All right, thanks, guys.
Cool. Thank you. Appreciate you. All right. All right, here we go. Greg St. Ford, take it on.
Yeah. How's everyone doing?
Great.
Y'all went down when it's me. Yeah, I know, right? How's everyone doing? Awesome. So my name is Greg. I'm your marketing director here at the office. So I'm gonna go through some of the events and then also some opportunities for you guys to learn a little bit more about marketing. So first is we have the pet adoption event, which Pam mentioned moments ago. So that's September 30th. So once again, it's a great opportunity to market yourself, have content for your social media, generate leads, have content for your newsletters, etc. We do have some marketing material that's available. So if you need a flyer, we have a version that you can use for social media and one that you could print on a standard 8.5 by 11, so you can print at the office or at home. So, once again, you can shoot an email to me or my team at agentmarketingdesk.com, and we'll send you over a flyer for that. And then Shredding Hunger, which would be October 14th, which is two weeks later. So we have that's a big event. Basically, for those who don't know, is a food drive and paper shredding event. Basically, for people in the community that donate a bag of non-perishable food, they have their sensitive papers shredded for free. So we'll have two shredding trucks there that's shredding documents for people. I think I have a picture of it. Hopefully I did. But last one we had a long line of people just coming. This is all drive through. So they just drive through. We pick up the food and then they give us their sensitive documents and we shred it. So it's a marketing channel for you guys. So it's a service for the community. Although it's a food drive, the goal is to, make sure people have their papers shredded. It's a really big event. And for those who do need additional marketing material, once again, we did have flyers sent out to everyone. But if you did not have it, maybe you just joined the office or we didn't have your headshot, email team at agentmarketingdesk.com and we'll send you a flyer for it, one that's for print. In addition, if you want door hangers, you can order door hangers. Can you pass this around? If you don't mind? So we have examples of door hangers. So just something that you can utilize. And we also have a trunk or treat, and then we also have you can pass it on. So, if you don't mind.
Yep.
So we have postcards for those who don't want to be out because it's too hot. You can send out some direct mail postcards, and it goes directly to the homes in your neighborhood. So let's say you don't, you want to send it to the addresses in your neighborhood. We can find the addresses for you. So we'll say, hey, give us your address and we'll send it to you and maybe 100 homes around you, maybe 200 homes, maybe 500 homes. So between the door hangers, the postcards, in our office is 600 agents. So we like to see Fort Bend County flooded with postcards and door hangers for all these different events. This is a marketing opportunity for all of you. And then 2 weeks after that, we'll have trunk or treat. Israel, you want to give a quick?
Yeah. Again, we have a good amount of signups already. We also have a good amount of vendors. We still need some more guys, so we'll keep pushing on this. If anyone has not signed up, I will do it for you real quick. So just pass that around really quickly. Just as a side note, or in addition to what Greg said, always remember we set up these events as the office, the Shredding Hunger, the Trunk or Treat. Use these events as lead gen opportunities, right? So how easy is it to have door knocks around an open house using the door hangers, right? And have a reason to door knock besides the open house. You have a Shredding Hunger event, also a Trunk or Treat event. How easy is it to call your database and invite them to one of these events? It's an easy touch, right? Especially if for you brand new agents, you're like, I don't know what to say. You have two reasons to call right there. They're super easy to do, right? We do all the setup. As far as the Trunk or Treat, again, we'll have a contest where first prize is hard dues, and then we'll have a second and third prize. It's a lot of fun, but we do need more signups. Okay, so you can either sign up via the clipboard going around, or there's also a QR code right behind me. Do we have flyers around the office?
Yeah,
we do, right? Yeah.
There's one at the front desk.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Awesome. And once again, these are your events. So sometimes agents ask well, how can they use this to generate leads? Well, you could create your own Facebook event page if you want. You could use whatever platform. You can promote it as your event in partnership with the office. But if you want to, the goal is generate leads, right? And of course, the day of, you have the opportunity to create content, create Instagram reels. We'll have a photographer there. We have a videographer, so you can leverage our resource in addition to your own. But this is a definitely a way to generate leads. And this is a quick photo of it. So those who didn't see it, last time we had about 1,200 people there. So kids, there's, we want to have as many trunks as possible. We're going to run we have a magazine ad. We have a bunch of other advertisements for it to make sure it's very successful and well attended. So definitely, take advantage of this event. It's happening anyway. So, you might as well leverage it as much as possible. Once again, there's door hangers and various marketing material available for you. Just reach out to me and, I'll make sure, you're taken care of. Now, I'm teaching a class next week, September 7th. So I'm teaching a class in the afternoon and in the evening at Zoom. The afternoon class, we're going to have a heavy focus on marketing for these events. So those who want to send a mass email in Command, so everyone knows how to get into Command. If you don't, well, there's an opportunity to start using it even more. So how to do a social media post, how to send a mass email, how to create a smart plan. That's going to be included in the afternoon class. So September 7th at 11:30. So it's going to be in person and Zoom. And then once again, I have a class in the evening. So those who need any general help with marketing, definitely attend those classes, social media, go through everything. So it's an 1.5-hour class. So that's all I got for you guys.
And you get 5,000 emails at no cost.
Yep, awesome. So
5,000 emails. Yes,
that's it,
Lisa.
thank you. No, I'm doing a little bit of both, right? So like normally at the classes I teach social media, I do a little bit of email and things to Command, but I'm gonna utilize the events to contextualize it. And then during the class, we can actually work towards actually sending out an email that day, or at least scheduling an email for that day. Only in the morning class. Yep.
Okay, cool. And there will also be one around the events as well. Okay, look out for that. All right, thanks, Greg. All right. Let's rock and roll. Who wants to talk about money and budgeting and accounting? Yes, I know, right? All right. So just like last time, there's going to be a little bit of activity. There's going to be some homework. So I encourage you guys to do it, right? Encourage you guys to do it. And please take notes. All right. So I'd encourage you to write this next thing down. Remargin your business. I'd love for you to ask yourself, how much do you spend personally every month? I already heard a groan. How much do you spend personally every month? Personally, in your personal life? And then how much do you spend in your business? How much do you spend on your business each month? Got it? All right, so tell me what's a margin? Who knows what a margin is? More or less your equity. It's a very high level way of putting it, absolutely. Anybody else? What's a margin? The difference between louder. Yeah, great way of putting it, right? The money left over after you've paid all your expenses. Right? The money left over after you've paid all your expenses. So remargining your business is mostly about expense management. So when a market shifts, the first change a business must make is re-expense itself. Revenuing your way out of a shift is iffy at best. It takes too much time, or it's virtually nearly impossible, right, to revenue your way out of a shift. So you need to act now. So how do you remargin your business? All right, first, project your income based on the market, right? Until you know what your potential income is going to be, your business may bring in, you won't know how much expense to cut. Then we have examine your expenses to identify areas to cut. We'll start with your personal expenses, and then we'll move on to business expenses when we're talking about cutting. All right. And then protect your margin with a realistic budget. Get real about your personal lifestyle, right? And cut back now so we're prepared to handle any shift that our business may have. So when the market shifts, you want to create a budget. I know that's a dirty word, right? That's a dirty word that everybody hates, but we're going to talk about why it's powerful. So you leave a comfortable margin of profits, so you can position your business to weather any storm that may come. All right, somebody read this quote out loud for me. Who's gonna do it?
Anyone who expects change to be comfortable hasn't been challenged enough.
Thanks, Jimmy. Anyone who expects change to be comfortable hasn't been challenged enough.
Huh.
I'm not sure who it was, but maybe that was awesome, right? When change affects your plan effective change. I know, right? Ready to write it? When change affects your plan effective change. But is the all right, so does the idea of cutting expenses feel extremely uncomfortable?
Yes.
Why?
Too much work.
Too much work? You're comfortable with what you have.
I want what I want.
You will say that again louder, Barbara?
I want what I want.
I want what I want.
When I
Okay.
want.
When I want.
Like Jordan's.
We're about to get to that really fast. Okay, anybody else? This is Zig Ziglar. We all need a daily checkup from the neck up. It's about getting real about your finances. All right, if we don't have a realistic view, then we can't take the appropriate action. So how do we shift our mindset? Jimmy, with the Jordans? How do we shift our mindset? Or better yet, Brandon, who, what'd you just say? What was your quote? I'm comfortable with where I'm at, right? All right, so first we must be financially awake and alert. That's number one. This means watching our money carefully and spending it more purposefully.
Oh my goodness.
I'm so glad she's not muted.
Yeah, well.
All right. Be realistic. Measure your market. So what does that mean? Study the market, right? Pay attention to changes happening, right? Are there fewer listings going around? Yes and yes, right? Is it taking longer to convert buyers and sellers? Have there been price reductions going on? Yeah, we're absolutely seeing that now, right? Are deals falling through even? Right? Are your conversion rates lower? They can be. So find these objections, and so that way you can act now. All right, expense management begins and ends with you, right? So it's up to you to ensure you're protecting your margins. And this requires being accountable. So let's talk about being accountable. It's the sixth personal perspective, right? And what I love about this chart here is that are you going to sit here and have a victim mindset, or are you going to hold yourself accountable to change? The one I love is this last example right here. Weights and hopes. Are you telling yourself if it's meant to be, it'll happen? Are you being reactive? Right? Time will tell. It's out of our hands. Right? How many of you go with that philosophy all the time? Yeah, I see a couple of hands up. There's a couple people being brave in here. Right? Instead of let's get started, right? Be proactive about it. Time's up. Let's go. Right? This is what I'm going to do. Have a clear action plan. Right? What's it going to do to get to the next level of accountability? Right? Who's going to hold you accountable? Do you have that set? Who's holding you accountable? And what's holding you back? What's holding you back? So let's talk about understanding the financial reality. All right, remember, right now you may be indulging in habits that needs to get in check in order to survive during a shift, right? A good market has effect of covering up bad habits. So getting back to the basics will get you back to healthy habits. So first and foremost, you got to figure out what our margin is currently. Okay. Then we got to cut expenses in a purposeful way. So that's cutting the cutting the fat. And then we got to protect your margin, remargin your business with a realistic budget. So how do we determine your margin? First and foremost, you got to calculate your pipeline. Okay. I mentioned about activities and work. There's actually a package you guys have that I'm going to go into as homework for you at the end, but this is where this comes into play. All right. First, you need to calculate your pipeline. How many closings or transactions do you have under contract that are going to close in the next 60 to 90 days?
0.
Okay. Well, then what are we going to do about that? Right. So that's how you got to calculate your pipeline. What was that, Vern? I highly encourage, yep. We're going to talk diving deep into about lead generation. Hey, use what you.
Use the mic.
You're not in that class. I mean, figure out a way to get in the class. If it's full, I mean, these glass, you can hear from it. You can be in the overflow.
Chad's gonna be on mic. You're gonna actually be able to hear it.
You can hear him without the mic.
Chad's loud enough for
Very
anyone.
loud.
All right. Okay. You want to determine your expenses, both personal and business, and then you're going to calculate your margin. All right. So now let's talk about cutting the fat. Okay. First, we start out by cutting personal expenses. Why? Why do we start with personal? Business is what makes you money. I like that. Anybody else?
Why do we cut the personal then?
Say that again. You have control of what you can cut back. I like that. That works too, right? Because the lifestyle you may be financing currently may need some adjustments, right? You got to adjust your lifestyle costs below your projected income. And you might be pleasantly surprised that you have some extra expenses in there that you might be able to trim. I'm going to give you a couple examples that you might have heard before. Chad likes to give this example of when he was doing this. I'm sure he does it frequently now, but when they were first working on this, him and Andy, he realized that he was paying for 3 Netflix accounts when he studied his credit card statements, right? He likes to say that teenagers will always be teenagers. He was paying for 3 Netflix accounts and didn't realize that. I had a similar situation. I looked at a statement of mine and there was a $20 charge for Amazon Music. I'm like, how the heck did this happen? Well, it turns out that when you try to play Alexa from 2 different places, all Alexa does is ask you that, oh, you don't have the right account. Would you like to upgrade? What do you think my 8-year-old said? Apparently Alexa listens to him. All right, so be careful about that. All right, Siri and Alexa, when it comes to this stuff, are not your friends. All right, so check your settings and all that. Right? Go through your credit card statements, go through all, to budget, go through all your expenses.
It was just 2 accounts, not 3.
I swear it was 3. You said it was 3. Well, the story's been told enough now to where it's 3. And next year it'll be 5. All right.
I want to add, don't hesitate to go look at your insurances. Look at your car insurance, shop around. Look at your home insurance, shop around. You'll be surprised how many insurance.
Yes.
Look at your electricity, shop around. Every year you should be shopping around for each one of these things and find competitive rates because they're slowly increasing it for no reason. So these are expenses that you might be able to find some gaps in, and the increase is though it's incremental, is very impactful. So shop around every single year for those things.
Absolutely. 100% agree. That's awesome. All right. So lower your personal expenses first. That's key. And then move on to your business expenses. So let's start with your personal expenses. This is going to be part of your homework, right? You're going to start categorizing what's essential to have, right? Essential to have means you keep it.
So you mean
right?
I got to
Mortgage.
Keep my kids?
You always need somewhere to get. What was that?
I said, so you mean I got to keep my kids?
Yeah, I think so. I've tried otherwise. It doesn't go too well, right? Then you're going to have the nice to haves, right? It's meant, anything in that category is it's meant to cut out, right? And or minimize, like eating out frequently. That can help you. Or making that daily Starbucks run. Okay. Give yourself some time to cut those. A week or two. Start cutting them. All right. And then the last one, can live without. Start cutting those immediately. Okay. Immediately start cutting those. If you think, how am I going to start making this list, or do I need a blank sheet of paper? You actually have a copy in that packet that you have. Okay. All right. So then we go to, let's start getting into the business side. All right. When bad habits hit, profit starts disappearing, right? And you're still saddled with all of the expenses. And this is why you need to start adjusting these expenses, right? So take action fast. All right. So does the expense, so what you want to ask yourself, does this expense, now we're talking about business expenses, does this expense generate a lead or close a transaction?
Of course.
Right? So that's something that you want to ask yourself. Does this expense generate a lead or close a transaction? And then of course, it just as you did in your personal expense, in your business expense, you're also going to chart out what are must-haves, nice-to-haves, and you can live without. Lead generation, any cost towards lead generation is the first one that you want to calculate. What's making you money?
Can we get this chart that you gave everybody else on the close?
We can put on the closed group for anybody that's online.
or
Absolutely.
KWS?
Yes, absolutely.
It's
Okay.
Page 45, the shift book.
By now, I'm curious if she knows she's on mute or not. It is awesome. She is absolutely following along, right? So when you're cutting expenses, right, it's important to remember why you're doing it. Okay. All right. A realistic budget is the only way to protect your margin. Okay. A budget doesn't limit your freedom. It gives you freedom. Budget is your friend. I know it seems to be a dirty word for most people, but don't think of it. It's a change in mindset. It does not limit your freedom. It actually gives you freedom. So speaking of budgeting mindset, think of it as investing, right? Invest, don't spend. Think about what you spend as investments. It's about the opportunity with your expenses, not an obligation. And practice accountability, not accounting. Don't think of accounting as an obligation. Use your budget to hold yourself accountable. All right. So what you want to do is, again, go through your bank statements, go through your credit card statements, your receipts, calculate your expenses, see what you can cut, see all the subscriptions you have. I know it's so easy that Apple TV is $7.99 and Disney Plus is, $3.99, whatever the numbers are, right? And it's like, oh, but guess what? All of that adds up. All of that adds up. All right, common budgeting traps. Spending more than you make. Hey, it's reality. Even worse is spending all that you make, right? A budget gives you a framework for spending that helps you avoid common traps.
Why is that work?
So you want to make sure you complete these budgeting tactics. Okay. All right, Allow. How do you spend more than you have? I love it. How do you spend more than you have?
Credit card.
Credit cards, borrowing.
Yeah,
Right,
spending
leveraging-
money and saying, oh yeah, I have a thing that's closing, so I'm gonna spend this first.
Yeah. Don't go to Costco. Are you writing that down verbatim? Don't go to Costco. Don't buy in bulk when you don't need it, right?
That's because you're friend.
Spending your money before you even have it in your bank account. Yeah, right?
You're looking at the revenue as your profit as opposed to its revenue, and you still have expenses that you need to take out.
Absolutely. That's why we led with that, right? Don't lead with revenue. Make sense? Yeah. All right. So what are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? Create an action plan. Be purposeful. Write it down. right now, right? Evaluate your effectiveness. This is an activity that all of you, I implore all of you to sit down and do, right? Keeping track of your transaction pipeline. We started with that. How much is coming in? How much do you foresee coming in? If it's not enough, tomorrow, the events, bold.
We'll even get some financial classes out there,
Yes, I was going to end with that. Absolutely.
Amanda.
Okay. These are all opportunities you guys have in front of you to gain business. Be all in. That's why we have all of these events. It feels like the calendar is extremely full. It's full for a reason. So we can present you and partner with you on these activities to help you succeed. Take advantage of events, bold, right? Prospecting, masterminds. Oops, I didn't mean to go back, sorry. Tracking expenses regularly. Just because we do this activity once and we've cleaned it up, quote unquote, doesn't mean that it stops there. Once you've done that, it's just like your database or your 4 laws of lead gen. Once you've created that database, right, then you continuously feed that database. So in this sense, you're tracking your expenses regularly. Be purposeful about the accounting, right? Holding my expenses accountable for a return on investment. What's your ROI? And then stick to the budget. Stick to the budget. It's your key to freedom, financial freedom. All right. So again, remargining and changing your budget is the changing of the way you think. A lot of this is all just mindset, guys. Mindset about the way you think about money. It's not about just winging this. Be purposeful. Set this all up, and then we'll talk about the next steps on what to do. Challenge everything and make nothing sacred. Make nothing sacred. There's nothing that you can't talk about. My dad used to teach me that, hey, he always asked himself, he was pretty frugal. He always asked himself, is it necessary before he made any purchase? In fact, this was something very similar to what Barbara and I were talking about earlier this morning. Is it necessary? Always asked himself. Even if it was a pair of shoes. Hey, is it necessary right now? Do I actually need them? So when you're walking around Costco, Anu, make sure you're asking. All right. Find your margin fast. Time is not your friend on this thing. Be fast. Start now. The quicker you get into this, the better off you're going to be. Protect your profits at all cost. Protect your profits at all cost. And then prepare for the market ahead. That's what it's going to help you on. There's going to be some challenging times in the market moving forward. This part is very important. And then go out and go get your unfair share. There's no reason why you shouldn't be doing both. Right? Protect yourself financially and go out and be purposeful about getting your unfair share. Just because there's less opportunity out there doesn't mean there's less opportunity for you. That's always true. Yet be very purposeful about this side as well. That's what we talked about when the last time I did this was about finding the motivated, and that was big on that. This is the flip side. Okay. All right. So again, you guys have a packet on you. Okay. You guys have a packet. The first part is calculating your pipeline. Okay. So make sure you guys are doing this in your homework. Calculating your pipeline, put the numbers on there. Okay. That way you get your monthly income. All right. The next one is that sheet, the chart that you saw up on the screen, and online we'll get you all these in the closed Facebook group, okay? Hey, let's start calculating. Pull your credit card bills out, pull your bank statements out, right? Essential to have, nice to have, and can live without. And let's start cutting those. First, start with your personal. That's the first sheet. And then the next one is your business expenses. Start with your personal. That always comes first. Okay, always comes first, and then do the math. Find your margin. What's your margin? Okay. All right.
Hey, you see they doing the owl white thing that Saturday, another owl white thing Saturday, what's his name?
We don't see it.
I'm not sure if that one was for us or not. Oh no, she's ordering lunch. Okay. All right.
No,
Any
not at the
ahas?
roof, he doing something else. It's
Any ahas? There we go. Who just had a come to Jesus moment? It was quite rude. I didn't want the moment. I didn't want the moment. That's telling enough. Love it.
Should I do this?
Anybody else? All right. Well, I hope that was value for you guys. Let's get purposeful. All right.
Sure.
Let's get purposeful. All right. Where are our partners at? Come on up. Make sure we're doing the activity. Do the activity. What's going on?
Sweet. Hi, I'm Melissa from Patent Title downstairs. I guess I'm the only one up here, so I get a little longer to talk. I'm just kidding. And I'm your lunch sponsor. So I just really wanted to say thank you to you guys for always being there for me, asking questions. I feel like it's more than just a work environment. We're friends. I've been here for 3 years. And so I just realized that in April, I started in 2020. And I didn't come up into the meetings until about July, I would say. And the reason I didn't is because I needed to add value. What?
COVID.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But for a while it was online. You're right. I needed to add value and I didn't know that I could because I knew nothing about title. Most of you guys know, but this is my first real job. And so I didn't know anything about anything. I didn't graduate high school. I didn't have a resume. So when Joe Rothschild wanted to hire me, he said, send a resume. I was like, what? I don't have a resume. He's like, put your life experiences and turn it into work experience form. And that's going to be your resume because I want you to work for us. And I was like, okay, I got this. I took Title 101 like 3 times. I knew I needed to add value in some way. I just didn't know a damn thing about anything. So I knew that I wanted to add value to every single person. You guys always ask questions. I'm always there for you. And I really appreciate just you guys, giving me the chance to work with me. And it's been 3 good years. And I'm happy anytime Barbara or anyone calls and says, hey, we need a, last minute, whatever. I'm always there for you guys because I appreciate what you guys have done for me and followed me along this journey, because sometimes I stand up here and just, I don't know, I just make stuff up. No, no, not about title. About title, I pretty much know every single thing there is to know about title. I'm pretty damn good at it now. And I'm proud of myself for that fact because I didn't know what I was doing at all. And so I faked it until I made it. And here I am. And it's because of you guys that I'm so successful. And if we haven't had a chance to work together, will you please give me that opportunity, please? And if not, in Sugar Land, we have other offices. We have Memorial, River Oaks, Katy, Cypress, Kingwood, and I really, really would appreciate the business. I appreciate all of you and I love you. I have no fun fact. Oh, I have a fun fact. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
Now, let me think of one real quick.
Thank you.
But thank
Melissa.
you.
Appreciate it, though. Thanks for being vulnerable.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
absolutely.
Come on. You
Hello.
What you got? Hi.
Yeah, oh, I was wondering, I forgot what I said.
Relax.
Okay.
We don't have.
So, okay, right now I still have a very cheap plan, but only lasts for 2 more days, okay? Because by September 1st, the way will go up 3 cents, okay? The price it went up for other plan like 2 or 3 weeks ago. I still have one is really cheap, but in couple
What's
more
really
days.
cheap?
Cheaper than the market price, okay.
Okay.
But few days later, going up 3 cents. So if you have clients who want to sign up, better be early. Do it in this today, okay? Like if your kid going to college, they might need to
Yeah.
move, right?
Yeah.
And then, and also I'm going to run a contest for original. I'm thinking to start from next month, but I will start today, okay? The contest is first place, we get a Google Hub Max. It's worth like $229. Second place is $150. Third place is $100. It's to the end of the year, from today to the end of the year, okay?
Today till the end of the year. And it's referrals? Is that how you win?
Yeah, the most, the people send me the most referral, then get the
Okay.
price, okay?
Now till the end of the year.
Yeah, today.
So December 31st, 11:59.
I'm going to record you.
Thank you. Appreciate you. All right. Who's gonna win? What's up, Mr. Dale?
Not too much. Good morning, everyone. Wanted to cover just a couple of things. You know, the big thing going on in the market right now for mortgage lending is rates. Everyone wants to complain about rates. What is the consensus that's going to happen to home prices when rates come down? What's the reason? Demand, right? So we already have a high demand for inventory and we don't have the inventory. So as everybody who's waiting for that magical rate, anybody know what the rate has to be in order for them to make that decision to buy? It's just a number. It's just a number that they're magically throwing out there. Yeah, I look at numbers all day. And when you consider the current rate and the principal and interest payment on at the current rate, if the buyer saves, 1.5% or 2%, let's just say rates go to 5.5%. If that's their magical number, if that happens 12 months from now, what is that new home value or price going to be when everybody that was waiting for that magic 5.5% or 5% rate, what's that going to do to that home price based on today? So average, this doesn't sound like a big number, and I talked to Jimmy about this, the average increase in home prices nationwide last month was 0.7%. That's a big number, right? How much is that times 12 months? That's 8.4% average increase still in home prices. A $300,000 house will cost you $325,000, assuming everything stays the same. If you add that demand now, Mr. Buyer, it's going to increase the prices. We're going to be in multiple offer situations, offers over asking price. You wanted to save $200, $250 a month in your mortgage, times 12 months is $3,000 in the next 12 months versus paying $25,000 potentially more for your house. Assuming that prices, you're not going to be in a multiple offer situation and have to do that. Right now, as Chad and Nimesh and everyone tells you, is the time to buy the house. All of you guys have heard this. It's, to date the rate and marry the house. Get locked in today, buyers, at this rate, at this price of home, and down the road, you can refinance that house. Yes, ma'am.
Back in the old days, we used to have adjusted rate mortgages, and I was wondering if there's anything out there like that as an answer to this, because we do all believe the interest rate will come down. Why not suffer through 6 months to a year till it comes down and be able to know that you're going to have a adjusted rate? Do y'all have any problems?
Good idea. Good idea. Well, good idea. But right now, if you've heard of something in the market that's called an inverted yield curve, what does that mean? That means technically, in real small, easy terms, that a shorter term loan costs more money rate-wise than a longer fixed term loan. So if you got a loan for 5 years fixed, you're paying the same rate or higher for a 5-year loan because of uncertainties in the market that you would for a fixed rate for 30 years. It wouldn't make sense to do an adjustable rate mortgage. It's a great time, though, for you all to consider and get really comfortable explaining buy downs. Get the seller to buy down their interest rate if that's a potential option. The great thing about the buy down, that money is put into an escrow account. If they save money until rates come down and they decide to refinance the loan, there's still money in that escrow account that would be applied towards the principal balance when they refinance the house. So they don't lose that as if they would if they were buying just regular discount points. I can, if we've got time. A buy down, we look at the amount of savings. If today's rate is 7.5% and you buy the rate down 2 percentage points, it goes down to 5.5 for 1 year. It will go up 1 point to 6.5 for year 2. It's the 2-1 buy down is what it's cost. The way it's calculated is if today's rate is 7.5, the difference in the payment for year 1 at 5.5% interest, and the year difference for year 2 at the 6.5% rate, that combined difference in the payment is the amount that the seller will be paying for the buyer to buy down their interest rate. It has to be written up applied towards buying down their interest rate. If that money is put aside in an escrow account, let's just say that the savings is $6,000 difference in a 2-year in interest. If they used in the first year 2%, that'd be $4,000 of the $6,000 was used. If in 12 months they refinance their house, they still have $2,000 in that account. If their balance at that time is $200,000 on their mortgage when they refinance, that $2,000 applies to the principal balance and they refinance $198,000. It's actual money for the first 2 years. If it's a 2-1 buy down, that the buyer of the house, the owner of the house has that's set aside. So it does apply. The money is put into escrow. Yes. Yes, sir, Gary.
If the mechanics of it, then said that the bond, if you're saying the lender puts that money into the escrow, but which theoretically what comes from the buyer, and he or she will be then reimbursed at closing that same amount for the seller?
No. No.
That's what I'm trying to get.
The money that's for the buy down, if you've got $6,000 in savings and interest, that money is in an escrow account and it is applied monthly to the difference in the payment at 7.5 principal and interest versus the 5.5 for the year 1. And then for year 2, 6.5. In my example, if you used only a year worth of those savings and there was still money left over in that account, that money would be applied to the principal balance on the mortgage at that time. It won't go back from the seller. The seller's out of the transaction. And it's put into an account and a small amount of the savings monthly gets applied to that. Correct. Their payment would go to the adjusted fixed permanent interest rate. And they've used all of that money that was put aside because they got savings for 2 full years. So that's an option. The arms right now are just not attractive. It doesn't make sense to lock in an arm potentially at or even rate or higher rate and have a potential for it to go up in 3 or 5 years. That doesn't make sense. So we do a refinance at no lender fees also. So when they're ready to do this, you will have title company charges and title policy costs, but you will not have any lender fees such as origination charges or admin fees.
I'm so glad everybody is interested in this. If only there was a class coming up or workshop that was dealing with, are y'all having some type
There
of
might
funding?
be, and I believe it's
symposium?
on September the 14th to talk about these different creative financing. Yes, sir, Jimmy. Okay, so we're doing that the 14th. One last little tidbit, fun fact, okay? 36% of all first-time home buyer loans that were closed in the last 12 months had gift funds that were used to help the buyer either with closing costs or down payment. Mentally, ask your buyers, does your family want you to move out of your house? Wouldn't they like you to be in your own house? There is acceptable instant loans that they can receive a gift. So that's going to be discussed as well in our class.
I
Okay,
like that fun fact.
on September 14th.
I have a
Thank
fun-
you.
I have another fun fact. Oh, I have
Yes.
a fun fact to
Say
add
yes,
to
yes,
his
yes.
fun fact. Fun fact, so on my resume that I totally made up, I did put that I was a personal assistant to a professional baseball player for the Houston Astros, Dodgers, Kansas City Royals. Just turned out to be my husband, but on the resume, it looked like I was a personal
Sometimes you felt
assistant.
like a personal assistant.
I know I was, so
Fun fact. Oh,
I think it's the 14th.
the 14th is her class. There's a different class on the 12th that we are sponsoring with a speaker who normally charges about $200 per person for this class that we're going to be doing here. We've done it at a movie theater 2 months ago. We had 75 people for 2 different sessions. It is a class that you really want to be in on. What, you had something else?
No, I was just
That's so
you got,
cute.
was that a mic drop?
We got it.
Yeah.
We're good.
Hey, guys, I just want to acknowledge these two and who they represent. They're two of our greatest partners.
Thank you.
Melissa and Patton brought lunch today. Dale and AMCAP are supporting us tomorrow for Chad's lead gen workshop. They're providing lunch, so hey, they're amazing partners of ours, so make sure we're reciprocating. They do a lot for us. Let's be there for them. All right.
We
Thank
need
you.
business, so we can
Appreciate you
keep
guys.
paying for it. You're welcome.
Exactly.
Thank you all.
Mhm.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Want to add anything for anything on lunch? We're good?
that's good.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Hope you got a lot of value. For
Thank
those of you that are here, enjoy lunch. Remember, do your homework. There will be other activities coming up regarding the financial side. Also, be bold. You got activities. There's a sheet there. Sign up. Get it to one of us. If you have any questions regarding bold, come see one of us.
That's cute. Thank you.
That is a good picture.
That's
an awesome picture.
Thank you.
That's me in the picture.
Start working on that
we're
budget.
We're sponsoring both, the graduation.
Be bold or be cold.